Morning, everyone.
Morning, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Yeah,
again.
welcome to our Friday assembly again. It's come around really quick this week.
It has, really busy week.
We've had a hugely busy week right the way across school this week. There've been lots of things going on. What things have you particularly seen?
Well, we've been involved in the Year 6 assessments. The Year 2 are doing assessments. And I know all the other children are doing lots of assessments in the ICT suite over the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, I've seen them going in and out of
Busy
the
time.
ICT suite. Yeah, it's been really busy.
But
you know
other
what?
things too.
I've seen lots of other things that are not sort of by sitting down at your desk writing things. So I've seen Year 5 who've been in the DT kitchen this
Yeah.
week. And they've been walking past with trays of lovely cereal
I
bars
know.
they've
I was
made.
lucky enough to see some this morning, actually.
Were you?
Yeah,
I
really
kept
good.
saying I would like to, if they need anyone to be testing it,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
if they've got dark chocolate on them. I was like, oh, I
Well,
can
some
test
of them
some
have got
of
a
that
little
for
bit
you.
of chocolate, not too much.
Oh.
Everything in moderation.
Oh, but yes.
Really,
so
they
we've
look
seen
great.
some really good. Hopefully, Mrs. Mayhead might skip a bit to that so we can have a little look at a few pictures for that. So if that's going to happen, that'd be really brilliant.
Okay.
We've had a really busy week, but not only that, we've had some really good success stories this week. So should we do we'll do reading success stories first.
Do those
because
first.
we've
You've got
not
the
only,
list.
this is every week. Miss G is putting names on my desk every week of children who are becoming reading millionaires. So we have 2 more reading millionaires this week. One little boy in Year 3, and that goes to Thomas, who's in Dragonfly. So
Hey,
well done,
well done,
Thomas.
Thomas.
We're so proud that you've become a reading millionaire. And also to Olivia in Kingfisher, who's in Year 5, because she too has become a reading millionaire. So
Well done,
we're
Olivia.
so well done. So proud of you, because it's not an easy challenge to become a reading
No,
millionaire.
definitely
is it? So
not.
you really have applied yourself. So absolutely brilliant news.
Just, I was in 2 classes this week where I met 2 children who had read 2 whole books, big books, over the weekend. I don't even know how they had time to eat or sleep.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Oh.
Really thick books, and they'd read 2 of them. Couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Such a good reading school we are.
Yeah,
Aren't
yeah, definitely. But not only are we good at reading, do you know what? Our Times Table rock stars, and I know Mrs. Goodwin's got battles planned, and their children are doing battles with teachers and things this week. But do you know what? There was another competition that Times Tables Rock Stars, the actual company, organised this week, and it was in aid of the NSPCC, and it was called, let me just check, NSPCC Rocks, I think it was called. And I know that Heron Class, so a big shout out to Heron Class because they got involved.
Good.
And out of the schools, I think there were nearly 1,500 schools that
Wow.
got involved in doing this. And Heron from our school came in 232nd place.
Wow.
So out of the 1,500, we came in the 200. So actually,
That's
we're
pretty
doing
good going.
pretty
Yeah,
good
well
going.
done,
yeah,
Heron.
yeah. So obviously, there's some great work going on. And it's
Yeah.
nice to see that we're taking part in things that are national, not just things that are going on in school. So
Yeah.
we're really proud, really proud of you. So really well done. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Des was just turning off a radio. But while we're doing that,
We're busy.
thanks. Okay. Well, you can also see that sitting here we have our 2 attendance bags. So should we do that while we're waiting for Mr. Ez to come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's back. Look. He's
Okay,
back.
I've gone blue because blue's my favourite colour this week.
Okay, I'll go for yellow, which is this fun.
Oh.
I like yellow.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
I have Key Stage 1.
Ah, okay.
Here we go. We have, only a couple of punctuality certificates. And they go to Reef class, well done Reef, and Sandcastle class, well done. So 2 receptions out of 4 have got a punctuality certificate. But let's see who is our winner of the bag. In 3rd place, it's spread nicely across Key Stage 1. In 3rd place, we have a Year 1 class, and it is Jellyfish. Well done, Jellyfish. In 2nd place, we have a reception class, and it is Reef class. Well done. But in 1st place, and you kind of guessed that it's probably going to be someone in Year 2, it is. 1st place goes to Dolphin. Well done, Dolphin.
Hey.
Big round of applause for
Well
you.
done, well done.
Well done. We'll
Yes.
deliver the bag in a little bit.
Okay, well done. And coming into Key Stage 2, I just have 2 punctuality certificates this week. One is for Swan class in Year 5, and the other is for Dragonfly, who are obviously in Year 3.
done.
So a huge well done, because they have been on time all week this week. We just pop those back in the bag. But let's see who has won. So we're going in 3rd place in Year 3 is Mayfly. Mayfly
Done,
class, you've
Mayfly.
come 3rd. Fantastic. Your attendance is 98.6. In 2nd place, let's jump up to Year 5, and it's Kingfisher. They were at 98.6
Well done.
for Kingfisher. But this class are having a bit of a roll at the moment. And they have won
I'm
this
gonna
prize
guess.
bag for, this is the 4th week on the run.
Oh, no, it
Is
is.
this 4th or 5th week on the run?
4th, I think.
4th week on the run. The last 3 weeks they've had gold certificates, but they have an attendance bag of 99.3. So they're so close to being at 100%. And now
Wow.
I bet everybody else in school is going to be able to guess who it is.
Yeah, they should
Okay,
do.
so hopefully you should be able to shout at the screen which class do you think in Year 3 has won the attendance bag this week.
Shout it. 1, 2,
Who's
3.
right?
Dragonfly!
Dragonfly it
Am I
is,
right?
yeah, you're
Yay,
absolutely
well
right.
done,
So, a huge
Dragonfly.
well done
That's
to Dragonfly.
amazing. Come on,
You know,
that's so cool.
I need a class across school that's going to knock Dragonfly off
Yeah,
their
what a
attendance
challenge.
purge. We need to have someone next week who's going to beat Dragonfly.
Come on, River Beach.
To see if
Show
we
some
can,
team spirit.
Absolutely. So let's see if we can beat Dragonfly next week, because obviously,
They've just nailed it.
well, they have.
They're just
but-
running away with this. It's easy. Easy for them. They just come in on a Monday and say, I look forward to Friday.
Exactly.
Wonder what will be in our bag. Because they own that bag.
Well,
They own it.
we'll see. But next week it will be great if somebody else could have a go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop just there, because
Okay.
I'm going to go a little bit, and I'm going to leave Mr. Ayres to talk to you a little bit, because as you can see, not only is Mr. Ayres a fantastic, well, very interested in trains,
Yeah.
aren't you? He likes a train or
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. Not to a geeky point.
No,
But, you know.
I would like to
Not
say.
to a geeky.
But so I'll take the bag. I'm going to leave you to tell the story of the trains.
I am going to tell a story about this one
Okay,
today.
and I'm going to come back and talk to you a little bit about something else to do with mental health a little bit later on.
Awesome.
So
Right.
I'm going to leave you to, I'm going to say bye for now, and I'm going to leave you to...
I'm going to say bye because I'm going to be back in literally half a second. See you in half a second.
Okay, I'm going to go, bye.
Okay, I'm back. Told you I wouldn't be long. What I want to talk to you about is this little railway here. Now, you may know that we don't see on our railways these days steam engines like this anymore, because they stopped over 50 years ago generally, and because they're not used anymore, they could have just been scrapped, or sometimes they are operated by volunteers. And you know, we've been talking about responsibility. Well, all over the world there are railways that are still being operated by groups of volunteers who every day of the week and on weekends and in holidays they will go and train as drivers, guards, firemen, signal operators, maintenance people on the railways, people that go along and just cut all the trees so that the railways can go through. They're all done by volunteers. Now, near here we've got a little railway at Amberley Museum. We also have the Bluebell Railway, which is over in just, well, it's near Haywards Heath, which is not very far away from here. And it might be that you've actually been on some of these little railways, but we just wanted to sort of think about those people that are really, really responsible and give up their time to make sure that those things are available for us. The reason I wanted to talk about this one is, well, you'll find out why it's important. I'm going to sort of give you a clue in a minute. But I wanted to talk about this one because I found out that 70 years ago today, so that's a long time ago, is the first time that this railway was operated by volunteers so that the general public could go on it. And it used to be a little railway. It's actually in North Wales, and it used to be used to carry slate from the mountains. You'll see slate on roofs. If you look around, you'll see lots of the roofs around here are actually made of slate, and lots of the slate comes from Wales, and they used to use the trains to take it down the mountains, down to near the coast, and then it would be transported, all over the world, to be honest, where it was used for all sorts of different things. So I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of this one, because it's a beautiful little railway, and one day, you never know, you might get to go there. It's like I said, it's in Wales. Some of you might even be thinking, I think I might have seen that once. I've been on it a long time ago, and they're only little engines, but what I want you to think about is, as you're looking at it, does it remind you of a famous story? Can you think of any steam engines that are quite famous? I'll give you a clue. They often have names, and they often have faces, and they are different colours. Can you think what I'm talking about yet? I'm sure you can. If you haven't, I'm going to give you a bigger clue in a minute. Oh look, there's two little carriages here, which I think sometimes are called Annie and Clarabelle in the story I'm thinking about. Guess what it is yet? Still not got it? Okay, here's the clue. Have a look. Do you recognise these drawings? Now, it might be that you've read books, or it might be that you've seen TV programmes and films. Yes, I'm talking about Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is I thought, one, you'd be interested because lots of you like Thomas the Tank Engine, and two, it's on this railway that operated for the first time as a volunteers railway 70 years ago today. Sorry, just going to have to tell them I'm busy. Or just be a little bit rude like that. It's on this railway that 70 years ago today, they first operated as a volunteer railway. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because the person that wrote Thomas the Tank Engine, a person called Reverend W. Audrey, so he was like a vicar, worked for the church. He went to Talyllyn Railway, that's what this is called in Wales, and he decided to be a volunteer. And he actually worked as a guard on this railway during his holidays, and he then started to volunteer more and more and more. And it was whilst he was on this railway as a volunteer that he got the idea to write the stories about Thomas. So you can see here that on Talyllyn Railway, even today, they sometimes have engines with the faces, and I think you'll find that in one of the books, in fact I know because I remember when I was a child, I remember reading it, definitely in at least one of the books, Talyllyn is actually one of the engines that's in Thomas the Tank Engine. He's one of his friends, and you can see that nowadays they'll often do special events where they've got different ones, and look, there we are, there's Talyllyn. Can you see it's written in Welsh there? Talyllyn. And that shows what it's like when he actually did feature in one of the TV programmes. So I just thought you'd be interested, because, put your hands up if you like Thomas the Tank Engine. Lots of you, thought you do. I certainly used to, still do actually. But that's where it came from. So 70 years ago today, that railway was first run by volunteers. Little interesting fact. Right, I'm going to pass over to someone else now, so I'll see you in a bit.
Hi again. You'll see that I've been joined by Mrs. Kinsella, and lots of you might have seen her around school, and she does a very special job at school, don't you? I think you do a very special job at school that looks after lots of children, and the reason Mrs. Kinsella has come to share part of Assembly with us today is because this week, as you can see from the screen, has been Mental Health Awareness Week. And you might think, well, actually, what does that mean? What is mental health? But mental health varies from person to person, doesn't it? But it can just be something very small. It can just be, what do you think it's called? Because it can just be feeling a bit nervous, can't it?
All sorts of things make us feel nervous. I mean, at the moment we've got children will be moving up into a new year, or moving into a new school. That might be making you feel a bit nervous. Something that can seem a bit small to us may be huge to you, and you want to talk about it. It can be anything in your life that you think, I'd like to speak to somebody, and that's what we're here for.
So I think this week in particular, thank you, that's really important. But this week has been talked about, this mental health week has been all about getting back in touch with nature, because so many people during lockdown, when we haven't been able to go out, have found that actually going out for walks, and actually when you're going out for walks, listening to the environment around you, and listening to the birds singing, or if you're going down to the beach, because we are so lucky to live near the beach, if you're just watching the waves bashing against the seafront, and just that feeling of the movement of the water, and just listening to what's going on around you makes a huge difference. Because do you know what, there's about 20% of people who actually have no garden, so they have no outside space. So going out and touching base with and seeing things that are going on in nature makes a huge difference. It actually makes you feel a little bit better, doesn't
there's
it?
a lot of people growing their own things now as well as part of that, being in touch with nature. And a lot more people, not more families, have decided to have a dog, and they get out and they walk.
Yeah, that's right.
Again, being in touch with nature, which they're finding really helpful.
Yeah. I must admit, I've just planted my tomato plants, which
Oh,
is
did
all
you?
good. Yeah, planted, and I've got my little allotment that's going to be dug up this weekend, so I've got lots of things to do. I can't have a dog then. I'm not allowed a dog. Although I keep asking Mr. Reyes if I can have a school dog. So
Brilliant idea.
exactly, a great
welfare
idea.
dog,
Yes, I think the school dog would be lovely, and I'd love to look after it. But that's beyond the point. But if you're feeling, I think Mrs. Kinsella's come especially today because we do have and we do care about children who have mixed up sort of feelings, don't we? Who find sometimes, and it could just be something, as you said before, something really small, or we think is really small. It's actually very important, but you just don't know how to deal with those sort of feelings. You can get butterflies in your tummy. It means you cannot sleep. Sometimes you have funny dreams, maybe.
I think mixed up is good because sometimes if you do, I'll come and find you and we'll sit and we'll chat about things and we can sort things out by just talking about everything that's going on in your mind that you've got a bit confused about, but sometimes we can just sort it all out. Like filing it really.
Yeah. Do you know what? Having those conversations is one of the easiest and most important ways we can sort of help with ourselves. And do you know what? Because we all feel worried at times, we all feel a bit nervous, but I think that's why we wanted to talk to you a little bit about mental health, because actually it's important that we're all in the right sort of place, because if we want to learn, if we want to come to school and we want to learn to the best of our ability, we have to be in like a good headspace almost, as they say, don't we? So, but Mrs. Kinsella and Mrs. Brunton, to be fair, and all the adults in school are always here for you to talk to. So if you really feel that something's happening that you just want to talk to somebody about, it could be your teacher, it could be your TA, or if you think, actually I'm not sure, then we could always ask if you can come and talk to Mrs. Kinsella, talk to Mrs. Brunton, you can talk to myself. There's lots of adults around who would absolutely be prepared to listen, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, nobody's going to say no.
No.
Everybody, we will listen to you.
Absolutely. So just think about it a little bit and take note of that. And actually, over the weekend, if you can get yourself out and about, get yourself some fresh air, go out and play, go out down to the beach, go to the park, have a run around, take the dog out if you haven't been doing that, or if you've got a dog over the holidays. But just be aware, listen to what's going around, because actually it makes you feel so much better, and it makes you feel a little bit happier, doesn't it?
Yes.
As opposed to being stuck inside your house, because actually it can feel quite, I'm trapped a little bit sometimes, doesn't it?
Especially
So
if you haven't got a garden.
yeah, absolutely. So hopefully it's just something for us to think about. This does play as a video if you want to watch. It's a bit adulty, so year 5 and 6 it might be more appropriate for you if you wanted to watch it, but I think for everybody it's all about having that good feeling inside and trying to keep happy and upbeat. So just an awareness that actually what's going on in your head is important.
And we are here for you.
Yeah, and we're here to listen if you would like to talk to us about anything in particular. Okay? We're going to stop there. But thank you for joining us,
You're very
Mrs. Kinsella.
welcome.
It's been lovely to have you in Assembly, and hopefully you'll see lots of children around school, more than you see already.
Yes.
So yes, we'll see you. We'll be back in a minute. Hi, welcome back. And you can see Mrs. Kinsella's had to go, but I am joined again by Mr. Ayres for the end of our Assembly, which has been, to be fair, a really good one.
It's been really interesting. Lots of different things.
Yeah, I think so. And it's nice to be seeing things that are going on across the whole school,
Absolutely.
as opposed to just things that we're talking about. So we are. Well, do you know what? There's only 2 weeks left to half term.
I know, I
So
can't believe
two
that.
more assemblies before.
Yeah.
I think it's only 2 more assemblies before our half-term holiday. So we'll have to think of lots of exciting things to talk
We will.
about.
I'm sure we will.
So I'm going to. Have you got anything else?
I don't think so. I think we're done.
Can't think of any more to do.
So, until next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next Friday. Have a lovely weekend, a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.